Shalom. All praise to the Most High and the Son Yahushua for giving us this truth. Brother Khan coming at you with these precepts once again to edify the minds of those who need to hear this message. And I'm going to be dealing with the topic at hand, which is the MAMZER Doctrine. The MAMZER Doctrine is predicated off of your mother and father has to be an Israelite for you to not be a MAMZER, which is not true. According to the Bible, your father has to be an Israelite for you not to be a MAMZER or a heathen. So we're going to get into the scriptures. This is the book of Numbers, chapter 1, verse 18, and it reads, Salaki, let me pull it up on a blue letter. The book of Numbers, chapter 1, verse 18, and it reads, And they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month, and they declared their pedigrees after their families by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names from 20 years old and upward by their polls. So they declared their pedigrees after their families by the house of their fathers. So they pedigrees, their lineages from the house of their fathers. So to answer that question, your mother could be a heathen. She could be a non-Israelite, but your father has to be an Israelite. That way you could be an Israelite. If your father's an Israelite, then you are Israelite. Your mother can be a Asian, but if your father is so-called Negro, which are the Israelites, then you still from your father's lineage. You are Israelite. If a so-called Negro get a Hamite African woman pregnant and have a baby by her, that baby is still of the seed of the man. So he's an Israelite. You know what I'm saying? That's how it goes. And just being dark-skinned, that doesn't automatically make you an Israelite, because you have to make sure your father was an Israelite and that he was not a heathen. You know what I'm saying? Like, he couldn't be other nations. Now, your mom, if she's a heathen and your father's a black man, then you good. You know what I'm saying? You an Israelite. You know what I'm saying? That's how it is. It goes by the seed of the man. Lack of a better word. So from there, we're going to go to Songs of Solomon, chapter 4, verse 1. Because I'm going to say this before I get the scripture. You can't judge a person off of appearance. You know what I'm saying? Somebody that's very, very light-skinned, you cannot classically call them an Edomite or a heathen or a MAMZER, because their father could be a so-called black man, and therefore that would make them an Israelite. You know what I'm saying? Because you have a lot of people out here, black people that is, that's very light-skinned, and some of them might have straight hair. And some of them mothers might be Edomites. And then their fathers are Israelites or a so-called Negro that would make them an Israelite. So you got to be careful. You can't just be like, oh, she's white because she got more white in her blood. You know what I'm saying? But let's get the scripture. This is Songs of Solomon, chapter 4, verse 1. And it reads, Behold, thou art fair, my love. Behold, thou art fair. Thou hast dove's eyes within thy locks. Thy hair is as a flock of goats that appear from Mount Gilead. So her hair was like flocks of goats. If you look at flocks of goats' hair, they have thin hair. They have long, stringy, somewhat stringy hair, somewhat thin hair. You know what I'm saying? Thin hair, you know. And I believe Solomon was talking to a SUBCRIBE, if I'm not mistaken. You can correct me, but I think he was talking to an SUBCRIBE. So let me read that again. Songs of Solomon, chapter 4, verse 1. Behold, thou art fair, my love. Behold, thou art fair. Thou hast dove's eyes within thy locks. Thy hair is as a flock of goats that appear from Mount Gilead, man. So this woman's hair was like flocks of goats. Every Israelite is not going to have woolly textured hair. You know what I'm saying? Every Hebrew Israelite is not going to have woolly hair, man. You know what I'm saying? We come in different shades of brown. We started off a black nation, but through slavery and through colonization, some of us just look like the other nations. You know what I'm saying? That's why when you read Revelation, when they say Israel was going to come out of every nation, man. And then you got the churches, they think that's talking about every heathen can just accept this truth and just be grafted in. No, that is not what that's talking about. That's talking about Israelites that was dispersed, that was living like the other nations, and that even look like the other nations. You know what I'm saying? You still got Israelites in Germany, man, whose great-great-great-grandfather is a so-called Negro. But they look like the other nations, man. You know what I'm saying? Because when they went to war, the Negroes would be in Germany and they would be there, man, and they would get with the heathen women and have Israelites. There's a book that you can get called Sex and Race by who's that? J.A. Rogers. And he goes in on that, how like 15,000 Negroes, 15,000 Negro kids just popped up in Germany through sex. You know what I'm saying? And they multiplying now. They are multiplying. You know what I'm saying? We don't doubt we multiply. You know what I'm saying? Exodus chapter 1 verse 7. You know? Her hair looked like goats, man. So from there, we're going to go to the book of 1 Chronicles, chapter 3, verse 1. Yeah, so back in the book of 1 Chronicles, chapter 3, verse 1, and it reads, "Now these were the sons of David, which were born unto him in Hebron, the firstborn Ammon of Ahinoam, the Jezreelitess, the second Daniel of Abigail, the Carmelitess." Verse 2, "The third Absalom, the son of Maacah, the daughter of Talmiah, king of Jeshurun." So this woman was a heathen. This woman was a Jeshurite. She was not an Israelite. So this proves that you are of your father. This woman was a Jeshurite. She was not an Israelite. So I'm going to go to 1 Kings chapter 14, verse 21. It's the last one. This is the book of 1 Kings chapter 14, verse 21, and it reads, "And Rehoboam, the son of Solomon, reigned in Judah. Rehoboam was 42 and 1 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 17 years in Jerusalem, the city which the Lord Yahweh did choose out of all the tribes of Israel to put his name there. And his mother name was Naamah, an Ammonitess." So his mother was not even an Israelite. She was a heathen. And this man reigned over Judah 17 years because he was an Israelite. His father was a Jew. Solomon was a Jew. So this proves that the MAMZER doctrine is false, that they've been predicating around Israel. You are Israelite when your father an Israelite. Either your father and your mother could be an Israelite, or your father just could be an Israelite, and you still of the nation of Israel. But if your father is not an Israelite, then you're a non-Israelite. If your father is not an Israelite. So with that, I hope this video was edifying through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. With that, Shalom.